Welcome to Unlocking Digital Literacy, Empowering Teachers for Today's Middle Level Classroom. If you want access to the materials, there's this bit.ly up here that has access to it. Feel free to go and download it, whatever. Anyway, my name is Kathy Beck-Mellum. I am a middle school teacher in Jordan School District at South Hills Middle School. I teach business and computer science. I'm also a digital and instructional coach there as well. Today I'm here representing Utah Middle Level Association. I'm an executive director for that association. So I've been a middle school teacher for 30 years now. And maybe because I teach business, it's something that I'm super passionate about, making sure that all of our students have digital literacy skills, and that we're all teaching digital literacy skills. It's not just a computer teacher issue, right? Like I said, I'm the executive director of the Utah Middle Level Association. What is Utah Middle Level Association? Well, we are an association in Utah that connects middle level voices to benefit middle level educators. We are trying to redefine ourselves. We used to hold a conference every year about February, March-ish, and attendance started to decline. We'd hold it on a Saturday, and it just started to decline. We're trying to figure out the best way that we can help middle level educators across the state. So we're trying a few different things, and if you have any ideas, please feel free to share with me. There's a Padlet at the end that I've developed that you can put comments on. Who is a middle level student? Well, they're typically middle level learners are those who are aged 10 to 15, and those of us who teach in the middle level understand this really well. They're characterized by rapid physical development. They grow up really quickly, intense curiosity. They have diverse cognitive abilities from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. They place very high importance on peer relationships. They experience emotional variability and seek independence. They also begin exploring moral and ethical issues. It comes from the AMLE, Association for Middle Level Education. It's our national organization. They produced a book called This We Believe. If you're interested in learning more about specifically middle level learners and middle level educators, I highly suggest you check out the book This We Believe. But in order to facilitate our middle level educators throughout the state, like I said, we're trying a bunch of different things. The first new thing that we're trying this year is a social gathering. We want to just provide an opportunity for middle level educators to meet together and to learn from one another, create some professional learning communities. So if you are in northern Utah, in the Salt Lake area specifically, next week, Wednesday, March 5th, from 4 to 6, it's an open house style gathering. We're going to be at the Leatherby's Family Creamery in Taylorsville. Stop on by and have some ice cream on us and share some information. We'll have some different activities going on, different ways that you can learn from each other and get help from one another, but would love to see you there. We're also working on creating some social gatherings around the state, down in southern Utah, out in Vernal area, just all around the state. We want to provide ways that our middle level educators can meet and share and create professional learning communities outside their building walls, outside their district boundaries. So now to digital literacy. This isn't about the class digital literacy that's required in 7th and 8th grade. This is about teaching digital literacy skills to all of our students in all of our subjects. Digital literacy is simply the ability to effectively and critically navigate, evaluate, and create information using a wide range of digital technologies. Could encompass use from how to use the digital tools to analyzing information from online sources, communicating through various digital platforms, and of course, practicing safe and ethical behavior online. So why is it important? Well, because we live in a digital world, and we need to help our students know how to effectively and safely use the technology that they're encountering in our digital world. We need to help them develop critical thinking skills. Digital literacy is so much critical thinking, like evaluating the credibility of online sources and information. Just because it's published on the web doesn't mean it's a credible source or it's even accurate, right? So they need to learn critical thinking skills. Just being a good digital citizen, right? Having responsible online behavior. Being ready for their future career opportunities, future academic opportunities. The more that they are able to navigate the digital world and have good digital literacy skills, the better they'll be to poised for future career opportunities and future academic opportunities. It's important for global communication. We are in an incredibly shrinking world with the internet and our ways we can communicate with one another. And so we want to be able to communicate and collaborate with others globally by broadening their perspectives and their understanding. And then being a good, having some digital literacy skills is being a good problem solver and using tools to help solve those problems. There's 5 core components of digital literacy. There's informational literacy, the ability to locate, evaluate, and use information effectively, and the critical thinking to make sure that those online sources are credible. There's media literacy, how to understand media influences our perceptions and behaviors. Digital communication, effectively communicate on various digital platforms, and being aware of appropriate digital etiquette and tone in their online interactions. And it's really easy to send the wrong message in tone just by not being aware of that, right? The 4th one is cybersecurity and safety, understanding and being safe while we're online. And then technical skills, just the proficiency in using our digital tools and basic troubleshooting techniques are the 5 components of digital literacy. So, I said in the outline, how do we go about teaching this? So I've come up with some teaching strategies to help us as we teach our students digital literacy skills across the board. Teaching digital literacy, in my opinion, is no longer just the goal of the computer teacher. We should all be teaching digital literacy strategies. So, first way we can do that is just to foster good digital citizenship. When you're having them go online, discuss appropriate online behavior. How should they behave? How should they interact with others online? How should they protect their privacy online? What are they leaving for their digital footprint? A lot of our students don't quite understand that everything that's out there is part of their digital footprint. Maybe you could role play to practice responding to online challenges like cyberbullying or other misinformation. There's an awesome website, nova.com, I believe it is, where they can go, and it has they actually play the part of a cybersecurity sleuth and do some of that. Next thing we can do is do some project-based learning. Project-based learning is basically, it's a lot of work for us, but it's awesome for the kids. It's where you create an assignment, a project, where students can investigate and respond to real-world problems or challenges. It usually requires collaboration, inquiry-based learning, so it's not all laid out for them. They have to come up with part of it. And then, of course, reflection and assessment at the end. Project-based learning is very student-centered, but as you're doing some different project-based learning, integrate the digital tools, right? They're all becoming pros at the digital presentation. So maybe take the digital presentation off the board and have them do videos or podcasts or create infographics. The state has got some excellent licenses with different vendors, software vendors. I know in Jordan we have access to Adobe, we have access to Canva, where we can turn them loose and go and say, create a video, create a podcast, create an infographic, help me. Even if you don't have access to it, they do have free accounts that students could use. And having them solve some real world issue with the technology would be awesome digital literacy skills. You could do some digital storytelling. Assign a project where students create a digital story or animation using tools like Adobe Express, or storyboard that. I haven't used storyboard that. It came up in my search, and from my very cursory glance at it, it looks like an awesome app that you could use if you wanted to do digital story. In the digital storytelling, you can integrate research and writing and digital skills. You could come up with community projects. It doesn't have to necessarily be where they're actually going out in the community and doing it, but bringing a issue from the community into your classroom to help engage students and have them use digital tools to address that issue. Maybe they can create an awareness campaign using social media, or developing an information website that could be shared with different people in the community, right? Just ways to create awareness about certain issues that are happening. Interactive presentations. This is not just a presentation where they stand up and read from the slide, but challenge them to create something that requires audience engagement, where they have a poll in their presentation, or they have role-playing activities or debates or case studies in their presentation where they're getting audience engagement. Collaborative learning. Like I said, we have awesome tools throughout the state, whether you're a Google school, whether you're a Microsoft school, or what you have. We have awesome things where we can do collaborative learning. We can do group projects. We can do peer review. We can do jigsaw techniques where they each take a portion of it and then come together. Think, pair, shares, collaborative writing are all examples of things that we could do. I know I've done in my classes before, I've done where I really wanted them to get beyond the computers. I would assign them, so in my CCA class, I have 3 periods of CCA, spaced throughout the day. So I would assign them partners in my other 2 classes. So they would have to collaborate via email, via Google, whatever they're doing. They can't just sit together in class and figure it out. It has to be done through online methods, right? So much of our world now is working with people that aren't necessarily physically in the same place you are. So we can bring that collaborative learning into our classes. Or you can do it just in the same class. I've done it where I've assigned them on opposite sides of the room and won't let them move, and they just have to do it there in class. Again, bringing the real world into your classroom, especially where they're like evaluating news sources, managing online identities, evaluating the credibility of online sources. Like I said before, just because it's published on the internet doesn't mean that it's an awesome place to go, right? Inquiry-based learning. Encourage students to ask questions and then do that research and answer the question on their own. I did some talking and some searching and I came up with some ideas in language arts, reading a book. Maybe you could debate a character's actions in the book and why it was good, why it was bad. Using manipulatives in math to visually explore math concepts. Give them a question and let them figure it out. interviewing an expert in a field to learn more about certain topics. You can learn that in just about anything. And I know with some of our AI software that we're being allowed to use, I was able to create some experts in Jordan we use School AI, and I created a space where they had some experts in a certain field and had them go and ask questions of the expert and then create a presentation or create something to share what they learned about that project. Biggest thing to think about as we're doing this is to make sure that we engage the students' interests to make digital literacy relevant. They use digital literacy almost on a daily basis. We need to make sure that we are engaging their interests to make that relevant to them. And then again, model digital literacy in your teaching, right? When you don't be afraid. Say, hey, I had to look this up, and I had to, show them your process that you had to do. Show them how you collaborated with teachers in other buildings across using digital tools. How did you use your digital tools? So here is my email address. Feel free to, if you have suggestions on how Utah Middle Level Association can help you, how we can help other middle level educators in the state, or if you have questions about anything I talked about, feel free to send me an email message. I do have an assignment for you because I don't think this is quite 30-minute presentation. But I want you to go to this collaboration board link and share ideas that UVers that work well. Ask for help. It takes forever to load at the same time. Okay, let's just go over here. Come on. So here's our Padlet. Unlocking digital literacy, ideas, questions, suggestions you have. You just click the plus. It adds a response. Write your response, write your question, write your thoughts, write your feelings. You can change the color, whatever you want, right? And then you can publish it. They'll put it in a grid order, but let's say you're reading along and you see a question and you have a good answer for it. Add it, and then you can drag your answer to just after the question. And I would ask that you please do that. If you're answering a question on here, you have some good responses for some questions that are answered. Feel free you can drag it around. It will stay in a grid order, but you can drag the answers up to where it is. And then check back with the Padlet and see if your question's been answered or what other comments have been made. Have a great USEC conference, and thanks for hanging out with me for a few minutes.